What up, boils and ghouls, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Creeps of the Crypt, a podcast dedicated to reviewing old episodes of Tales from the Crypt. I'm your host, John, and along with me, as always, is my co-host,
Father Alan. What up, guys?
That's right. And we're here to talk about Season 4, Episode 12 of Tales from the Crypt, titled Strung Along. Now, before we get started, I'd like to do a little disclaimer. We are nobodies. We're just old losers that like this television series so much that we decided to go back and review them and discuss them. And if you'd like to also get involved in the discussion and tell us what you think about these episodes, you can go to YouTube, search Creeps of the Crypt, search this podcast, find it, watch the videos, and comment down below and let us know what you thought about these episodes. Like I said, we're not experts at all. We're just fans of the show. So much so, well, Alan became a fan because I was a fan of the show. And I was like, oh man, you don't know, this show's great. So I'm just a fan. He's just a fan. I learned to do this from Critique of the Crypt, or is that, I keep messing up their podcast name.
Oh, you got it. Critique
of the Crypt. It's hard to say, but anyway, yeah, you can subscribe to them too. I love their videos and how they review the episodes. So yeah, check them out. Critique of the Crypt, great podcast. There's also another one I just heard of called Dates of the Crypt. It's this couple that got it together because they were fans of Tales from the Crypt, and they decided they got married. So I was like, that's interesting. So I think they're called Dates of the Crypt. I could be wrong.
I don't know if this is the same one. Dates from the Crypt podcast. And there's only one. They only have one episode on YouTube, so I don't know if there's more.
Yeah, that's it.
About a month ago. Oh, okay. Well, big ups. Shout out to them.
So anyway, we missed a month technically. We weren't supposed to miss a month because Split Personality was supposed to air in November, but I moved it up because I wanted something for Halloween, right? And it didn't do any favors for me moving it up because it got only 100 views, and that I think about 50 of those are me trying to figure out why is there no views on this episode? What can I say? Could be the thumbnail, could be anything, whatever. Like I said, we're just fans. We like to talk about this show, and not that many people are going to be talking about Tales from the Crypt because you can't find it.
That's the downside of that. Yeah, you can't find it anywhere besides YouTube or other sources. I know you told me that you bought the season on Amazon, so if you managed to do it before they took it off, you can still watch it on there, which is pretty cool. There's a will, there's a way. I think mostly decent quality on YouTube. If not, I'm sure you could find it on Vimeo or maybe Dailymotion. Do a good Google search, you'll find it.
Yeah, we were supposed to have an episode of Thanksgiving, so I moved it up, and then November we couldn't record because of Thanksgiving. So yeah, I gained. I haven't even checked, but I know for a fact I gained weight because besides seeing a double chin, which wasn't really here before last time that visibly, my shirts are tighter. I'm like, God damn!
Yeah,
it's from one day from this huge
not the
turkey,
washer, right?
Huh? Yeah,
not the washer, right?
No. Huge turkey,
Yeah.
stuffing, cake, a lot of cake.
Mm.
Yeah, pecan pie, apple pie. Somebody bought us apple pie. I had a pecan pie, which finished the second day. Then I was planning to stream. I did stream one night, but I was planning to stream again the second night. So I got, it took a little my what's that thing called?
Ibuprofen?
No,
Laxative?
this thing. What do they call these things?
Vape pen?
Vape pens. There we go.
Benjamin?
I took a vape pen and I smoked it, and I got a little too excited and ate a lot at 3 in the morning.
Oh,
and then
Jesus.
I was like, I'm going to bed. I passed out to it was terrible.
That's the downside of those. Either you get dry mouth or you get hella hungry and you just start eating everything in sight.
Yeah. So I got to start going to the gym. Yeah, so that was my Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? It looked delicious.
It was pretty good. Spent some time with family, and then my girl's family, and had some ham, some turkey. Somebody made some ribs, and had a little got a little helping of that. I only really did one plate, and I was pretty stuffed, man, because there's other appetizers there, some Oreo cheesecake there, and then I made some cornbread, and what was the other thing? I didn't have stuffing because and my girl's mom didn't make it, but I love stuffing.
I made stuffing.
Shout out
I
to
don't
stuffing.
make it though. Well, I used ground beef and I used the stovetop stuffing together. And I put sofrito, sofrito, and this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out, oh, so good. It's so good. My uncle brought food the next day from his party, from his wife. And they didn't make turkey. I thought it would be turkey. They made chicken, stuffing, mac and cheese, rice and peas. I'll say it for the white people, and pork shoulder, which is in Spanish is called pernil. So the pernil she made was the bomb. I made the best turkey ever. Honestly, this year was fantastic. The only problem was the legs and the wings were dry. But the whole turkey, it was falling. The meat was falling off the bone. It came
nice
out
and tender.
fantastic. It was so good. It was so good that today I had a little bit for turkey salad. I made turkey salad with it. I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I was like, this is fantastic. But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving. I saw you had more food. See, I cook, so I do the turkey, I did the stuffing, mashed potatoes, the rice. So I did all that. And then this year I didn't do as much as I normally do because prior years I went overboard. You know, I make the macaroni salad or the potato salad. I said I'm not doing all that this year. So I made a smaller amount. But I was like, damn, ham would, because I also make ham every year with this. So this is the first time. I also make ham every time, you know, also. But this year I didn't, which was terrible. But anyway, people don't really care about our Thanksgivings. They want to hear about Tales from the Crypt. But we do have to catch up a little bit before we get started. But yeah, why don't we talk about this episode? I will give out the pertinent information at first. This episode is, like I said, season 4, episode 12, titled Strung Along. It originally aired on September 2nd, 1992. It was directed by Kevin Yagher, and it was also written by Kevin Yagher and Yale Udoff, who was a writer who wrote TV stuff and movies, and this was the last thing he wrote, and he didn't write after that again. Kevin Yagher, you may remember, he directed another Tales from the Crypt episode titled Lower Birth, I believe, the origin story of the Crypt Keeper, which I don't think it was his directing that sucked. It was just the story in general. And I know it was like, oh, it's original, you know, it's an original story from Tales from the Crypt. So we have to talk about it. And it's his origin story. It's like, is it really? Because this Crypt Keeper is skeleton, you know, mummy, like undead thing. He's not like the way in the comic, it was it was an old man face on a baby body, you know, like it was gross. It was like Benjamin Button. So that's what made it like, ooh.
Yeah, that one was different.
This was just like no-nos.
Yeah, I'm pulling up IMDb. I think it's just showing me here he directed also The Man Who Was Death. I don't know why I'm not seeing the...
That's not him. Kevin Yagher did not direct The Man Who Was Death. The Man Who Was Death was directed by Walter Hill.
Yeah, it's weird. I might have... I don't know. It's showing up here. Oh, I guess Crypt Keeper Sequences was directed by him. I guess where I didn't read the fine print on that one.
Yeah.
My bad.
Dumb.
My bad, y'all.
Yeah, Kevin Yagher is makeup effects artist. That's why I think they gave him... Yeah, he wanted to direct, so they let him direct that Lower Birth episode, which was a better episode in a way because you also had the Eli character, who was this mongoloid thing. It was a Jason Voorhees type character, which Kevin Yagher also worked on Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. The best. Is that the best one? The final chapter. So he worked on, I know Tom Savini also worked on that. Anyway, he worked on the final chapter, Friday the 13th. He worked on A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the gay Freddy film, which I always said is the best makeup of Freddy. I think I love that makeup on Freddy in part 2. He also worked on Child's Play. I think he did the animatronics for Child's Play for Chucky. So he's accredited in this field, especially for this episode titled Strung Along. This episode stars Donald O'Connor, who's known for musicals back in the day. Patricia Charbonneau, I don't think that's how you pronounce her name. And Zach Galligan himself is in this episode. And why don't you tell us? Yes, why don't you tell us what the synopsis for this episode is?
Yeah, I took it up to Liberty, inspired by the Crypt podcast, writing my own little summary here.
Oh.
And for Strung Along, it's an episode of an aging puppeteer named Joseph Renfield, who longs for his glory days and receives an invitation to participate in a tribute show dedicated to the golden age of television, which he was a part of in a way, because he was pretty well known. And this news gets him excited and then thinking that it could potentially lead to a comeback. All the while, he suspects that his younger wife, that he suspects an affair going on with her. All the while that he's training a new protege to work with him on coming back in this tribute show that he got invited to. And as things escalate with Ellen, Joseph relies on his puppets to guide him through his ordeal. And does Joseph find out the truth, or does he continue to be strung along? Hey, you like that little homage to that episode name?
Yeah. So interesting. Yeah. So why don't you tell us how it opened up with the Crypt Keeper, if you remember? Because that was your job. You're supposed to do. You always never do it anymore.
His opening monologue. Yeah, I got lazy with that one.
He's being tortured.
He's getting strung up on a rack by some skeleton doctor named Bones, and he goes, "Yes, that's better." Then notices the camera. "Oh, hello, boys and ghouls. I hope you'll excuse me if I don't get up. I'm a little stiff today. Then again, I'm a little stiff every day." I feel like there's a lot of entendres there.
Yeah, I thought so too when I heard that. I was like, I always think of nasty stuff whenever I hear anything. The other day, when I was doing the streaming, watching the Paranormal Witness, where the mother says, "I felt terrible. I couldn't turn around and give him a reach around. I couldn't give him a reach around." I was like, "What?" I'm like, oh, she meant like reach around to like help him, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else did he add? Actually, I twisted my neck playing croquet, but it wasn't hurting the way I thought it should. So I called my chiropractor. Of course, some people look elsewhere for their pain, like the old man in tonight's terror tale. His idea of an antibiotic was to marry a younger woman, and then the rack gets pulled up tighter to make groans of pleasure. I call this plasma play strung along.
I remember that line. I was like, plasma play.
I never heard that, but I'm gonna throw to my rotating use of words. Check out my plasma plate.
Yeah. So the episode starts out with an old video intro, right, of when he was younger, and it's black and white, and it shows terrible. It's terrible. A marionette, the guy that uses the strings to puppeteer, like in The Godfather, they have the marionette sticks above with the wires going down. It's just The Godfather. So
yeah, the marionette puppets. It's like
yeah,
it's like shown through like a black and white filter, I guess maybe sometime in the 50s, and it's just like his act pretty much, and you get to see it before like he turns off the TV. It's just him like reminiscing on the old days of his show. And that was a bit of that in the beginning there, and it's just him sitting all slumped on the chair there, looking depressed. And that's kind of the idea we get. Like, I guess he used to be somebody, and now he's just kind of retired and just living out his couple years, and
Well,
and I'm not as a couple years, but I guess just living out his glory days through these VHS
videos.
tapes that he's
Yeah.
watching.
He just watches them and it's, oh, hey, Pogo. Pull. Terrible voice, but it's his voice. He was like Howdy Doody or something back in the day. It seems like.
Yeah, I
like
get
you
that
said,
I get that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's watching it like he's watching a 50s his show. He doesn't look much younger. It would have been better if they actually got a younger
Oh
actor.
yeah, it's just like the only difference is it's just he's not in black and white, I guess.
Yeah, or yeah, they put makeup on him, make him look, I guess, somewhat younger. They did what they did to a lot of actors back in the day, like especially Joe Pesci for almost a majority of Pesci's films. They put that tape on his face to pull back his eyes and his face back so his skin looks younger. They did it in Goodfellas, definitely in Casino. You could tell it was very vividly that they did it in Casino because he looks Asian in Casino. But
I think the only thing really that they did is just slick his hair back, pretty much.
Yeah,
they put him in a suit.
He's just sitting there. Hold on. He's just sitting there miserable watching this, even though like, okay, it would have been better. Like I said, yeah, if he was younger, it would have been much better. But so he's watching this. He turns it off, and you hear giggling and the noises outside. And then when he looks, it's his wife, Patricia Charbonneau. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Charbonneau, whatever. She's in the pool with a friend of hers who's another girl. Now, when I first watched this, I said, well, it would have been more because he looks like he's angry. He's watching her from the window and he looks like jealous. Like he's jealous of her having this relationship. But it's a woman. So it's like, why are you upset about this? Although I will say it did look like she wasn't wearing a bathing suit. It looked like those were just her bra and panties. If you go back
it looked like she just jumped in there and just after taking her clothes off, just like a normal bra and panties.
Her friend was there with a bathing suit, and she like does not look like a bathing suit. It looks literally like whatever, and he looks upset, and I don't understand why he would be upset of his friend having friends over. I thought it would. If they would have said, if it was a guy, like it would have worked better. Because then it gives, but they do mention it later on. Like, because she comes into the room after he's talking, he's just like, he's working on another marionette puppet that he's going to be making, I guess. And while he's working on it, he's hearing the voice of Coco talking to him, but it's his voice. So it's like has like split personality or something. He's hearing the voices, or maybe he's throwing the voice himself and whatever. And basically, Coco's kind of like saying like, "Yeah, she's special,
She's special, all right."
Yeah, she's cheating on you, but it would have worked better if it was a guy, whatever. And so she comes in and she goes, "Is Coco bothering you again?" So this is a normal thing. I think they should have worked this in more, where honestly, she's suffering because he's got mental issues with this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was interesting that they kind of threw in that little dialogue from her. Like she kind of knows that, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't make it. Yeah, he talks to himself mainly a bit, and just kind of acts like it's normal. But it gave me a little bit of hints, or reminded me of like the other Crypt episode of Ventriloquist. So Ventriloquist Dummy. Got a couple of feels from that one on this one too. At least with like, him talking to the dummy, either at it or internally. But we only get, in regards to like, I guess his state of mind and then where they're at in the relationship, it's just more so like he's just kind of at home a lot and just kind of sulking and doesn't really get out much, and she's kind of like, I guess, is bored as well of like being at home, and the only really outlet she gets is supposedly through her weekly acting classes, which it's mentioned a bit later.
But this is a little back and forth from the beginning.
Don't say it. The last thing I want to hear from you is "I told you so."
Coco been bothering you again?
Coco bothering me? You kidding?
I bought you your mail. Why don't you come for a swim?
I want to take you away from your friend.
Lucy went home. For Christ's sakes, Joe, you're gonna be jealous of my female friends now, too?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just depressed.
Well, of course you're depressed. You sit in this dark little room all day talking to yourself. It's not healthy.
See, so
Did you take your medication today?
I feel fine, really.
And what color
The
would you like me to wear to your funeral? If you want another heart attack, go ahead.
exposition.
Some heart attack.
Yeah.
Don't
medicine.
be angry with me, kiddo.
I'm
Kiddo.
not angry with you.
She doesn't look that younger.
I'm just frustrated.
Oh, she's much younger.
Well, younger than him,
Take
but
care of yourself.
she looked like she's maybe in her 30s.
Yeah, and he's in his 50s. That's still 20 years difference, bro.
I guess I mean younger in the sense of
She's
her in her
magnificent,
20s.
isn't she, Coco?
She's a real piece of work, all right.
That's what I say about John.
I like how it's actually not his voice. I don't think that's his voice.
Did
but I
it say
didn't check.
who did the voice of that? I didn't even see it in the credits
No.
here. In the
They never show
IMDb.
credits for people who do voices outside of. You know what I mean? Like,
Curious. Yeah, I'm curious who did the voice. It
because
sounds familiar,
I'm
but I don't know who.
positive. I'm positive Don Rickles did not do the voice for ventriloquist dummy for his brother, and I'm positive this not his voice. That could be Zach Galligan's voice. I should
That's a good question. Yeah.
have asked him that, you know. But anyway, so yeah, so he's jealous of anything she does. So he gets in the mail that she just gave him was telling him that they're reviving his 1950s show for one night for like an anniversary thing. And he gets so excited. He goes out to tell her. He's knocking on the glass and she's putting lotion on. He's like, get in here. This I thought, well, it kind of looks like it is a bathing suit now. I'm looking at it, but didn't look like it's so much. Actually, no, it looks like a bra. So he calls her in here. He goes, you won't believe it. This is incredible. It's like the best news he's heard in forever because ever since he stopped being a marionette, he stopped having that show, even though the comic does this better. It feels like he has nothing, though he has a wife that's really young. They never develop this relationship. They never get into more of this relationship, which should be more developed than his marionette thing. You know, like I get it that's something like, how can I explain this? Like, when did they get together? Like, he doesn't even talk about it. There's no exposition of, I remember when I first met her, I couldn't keep my eyes off her, you know, or something like she was with me. Something. Give us something about their early relationship besides just like, she seems like very nice for the majority of the film until she starts, until it's kind of like she becomes jealous because now he has somebody in the house. Because anyway, he gets brought to do a reunion show, I guess. And she's like, are you sure about this? Because you haven't done this in a long time or whatever. And you might need somebody to, you know, to help you, you know, get a new act going or something. And then he goes, oh, maybe I could put an ad on the like Craigslist, but you know, or the penny saver, whatever they used back in the day.
The back pages back in the day for those. The back pages or what it was, the Craigslist.
Well, penny
people our
saver.
age. Penny
People
saver.
our age, before his penny saver. So then she goes, well, maybe I could ask my acting coach because he knows a lot of people. And then he goes, okay. And then he's excited. He's kissing her, and it seems like he's ready. You know, he got his mojo back.
Yeah.
She goes, what's the matter with you? He goes, I don't know. I guess I feel inspired. You know, which is sad. She looks okay with it. Like she doesn't give all. For a little bit, she's okay with it for like 2 seconds, and then she turns her head. And she's like,
yeah, she gave like a serious look at the camera. I was like,
this old man's breath stinks.
this
It's
freaking guy
like Beth
of
Stern.
all days.
That's
Oh yeah,
Beth
exactly.
Stern. Howard's fucking wife. I feel bad for her. Oh, sorry for cursing. I'm trying not to curse. Howard's wife is the exact woman in this thing. Oh, I can't imagine that. That poor woman. When he retires, because it's gonna happen. When he retires, it's gonna happen. She's gonna be miserable. Anyway, the next day she comes in and introduces him to Billy Peltzer. He's coming to teach him how to puppet puppeteers or because he's into animatronics more than marionettes, so he has no idea what he's doing. So mostly the old guy is going to be teaching him how to be doing this, but he's he could pick it up or whatever, but it's really going to be teaching him. But anyway, yes, Billy Peltzer walks in. Billy Peltzer, aka Zach Galligan from Gremlins, and what's it, Waxwork, which was a great film. I love Waxwork, the original Waxwork. We talked about it last time, as you just saw, that the girl that's in Waxwork with Zach Galligan, she was in Split. Is it Split Second? In that episode, Split Second.
Oh yeah, Michelle Johnson. So she's in that one with the jealous boyfriend, and that was like in the log, or they were like they were like chopped trees down.
Yeah, Michelle, you know her name. That's how much she was like,
just came up to me.
Yeah,
Split
Michelle
second.
Johnson. That's right. That's her name. Yeah, but she was in Waxwork with Michelle Johnson. He was in Waxwork with Michelle Johnson. She's fantastic. So, yeah, that was great. So he comes in, he introduces himself, yada, yada, yada. And we get, he's basically going to be taught by, I forgot what's the guy's name?
Joseph.
Like loser. That's what his name is.
Who is that?
Who do you want it to be?
See, that does sound like the guy now. Before it didn't, though.
I think
That
it might
is
just
his-
be. I
two
think he's
different
voicing
voices.
the puppet.
I don't know. I think he's voicing this puppet this time,
Yeah, I think so.
but not when it's in his head.
Probably some PA.
How the hell did you do that?
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
for me to know and you to find out. Hey, Joseph, come on out. There's a guy out here spying on us. Now, Coco, you should try being a little nicer to the young man. You don't want to scare him away, do you?
I don't frighten that easy, Mr. Renfield.
For starters, it's not Mr. Renfield. It's Joseph, okay?
Yes, sir. This is a real honor for me.
Did Ellen tell you kissing my ass was part of the job?
No, sir. Actually, that was my idea.
Anyway,
Yeah, so he teaches him. He takes him up on his, I guess, his apprentice in this expedition, I guess, to work together on the show. Well, they get along pretty well, I guess. So it's not much.
now
not
we
much
don't know.
Yeah, not
We
much
don't-
there besides just a normal cordial stuff.
So, Joseph walks in on her on the phone, and she's talking to her acting coach, Russell. He's like, "I'll talk to you later, okay?" And then
I think
he's
it's
like,
Rick.
"Rick?" I thought it was Russell.
No, it's Rick.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, she goes, "How's David?" And he goes, "Oh, I think he'll be fine." And then she's like, "Great," but like, she gives him like a look, and he's like, "What is it?" And he goes, "Oh, he seemed too eager." And she's like, "Jesus," like he's
Yeah,
being
she
pushy.
just- Yeah, she's just kind of like making excuses for him to drop
liking.
David, and
Yeah.
just not liking him for whatever reason. And we'll probably have the scene later too, like when he confronts him or she confronts him about all that, and him making suggestions to like update the show and all that. So yeah, we kind of get a little glimpse into what was going to happen later, but like, yeah, it seems like we're hinting at that she's having an affair.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, with this guy Rick on the phone.
She's going to dinner with him, right?
She said she was going to go out with a friend. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
well,
I think we
fine.
already know what's going to happen there.
Yeah. And then she's like, he's like, "Why can't we have dinner here or whatever?" She's like, "Ugh, like you like to stay home all the time. Like, like you might like to be here. I don't know why. I mean, if I had a house like that, I'd be happy being home all the time. I mean, that's a beautiful home. It's humongous. It's like a mansion. This guy's marionette skills got him a huge house. So she should be very happy. Anyway, so he's sitting there alone in the dark, and he hears Coco, and Coco goes, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And he goes like, "Well, that depends." And then he goes, well, then, you know, he gets it in his head already. He goes, she wouldn't do that to us. You know, like, I do like this.
Yeah.
The idea that they were going for with him. They should have made it more about his mental health than anything else, than his heart also. You know what I mean? Like, they should have added something. I mean, you could see it. We could tell that it's obviously he has a mental health issue too, on top of the heart. And he doesn't want to go out. You know, he's antisocial. He says he's staying home. So I get it. They didn't have to go all the way into it, but they could have made something like, well, she does. She says, is he bothering you? So she knows that he's talking to himself.
Yeah, they didn't really make it clear. It's just kind of like stuff that's hinted. That's gonna
It's
be
hinted, yeah.
kind of foreshadowing events later on or things that connect. So yeah, you're right. Like they could have maybe expanded upon it a little bit, but it seemed like it's a bit of maybe I could take it as just him being too much at home and with his puppets that, you know, he starts just having full-blown conversations with them and hearing voices in his head. But yeah, they could have expanded upon it. So yeah, we had that little scene, like just pretty much them insinuating, just having doubts of what's going on with Ellen.
Yeah. And then the next scene is him and David, Joseph and David, working the marionettes, and you get the sense David has no idea what he's doing, and he's just being there to learn from Joseph how to do this. And then you kind of side with the wife at this moment, Ellen or Helen, whatever her name is, because you're seeing her staring at them like, what is he here for? You know, like, why is he here? He's supposed to help you get ready for your thing, and you're teaching him how to do everything. You know, like, what is this? What's this all about? And it boils over to a head, I believe, where they get their act done, right? Because he had to teach him how to do the act, like get the legs over or whatever, which is incredibly hard. I mean, I will say, if this is real at all, like how to move them and everything, it's incredible. So I have to give these people credit back in the day. That what skills people used to have. Like this is in like The Godfather. There's a scene where Vito Corleone's walking through Little Italy, and you know it's the Italian Day festival or whatever it's called. And there's somebody with marionettes playing out a scene where Knight takes out his sword and stabs one of the other puppets. But that's really being done, you know, like, so like, I don't know if people still do this. I doubt it. It's incredibly difficult. That's real talent, technically. But anyway, they run a whole scene and it works out great. And Joseph is very happy. And then he sees his wife come in with sandwiches and lemonade. And he asks her, "Did you catch the scene?" And she's like, "Yeah, it looked okay." And he goes, "Oh, that's a rare review." And he goes, "What do you think about the new lines?" And she goes, "They were okay." She goes, "Oh yeah, David wrote them." And then that's what sets her off. And she's like, "What are you talking about? David wrote them." You know, like, they want you're the star and everything. And she's causing a problem where there shouldn't be one.
Right. She starts to get erratic. I mean, she's the one that brought him in. And then and then as the episode goes on, she starts getting emotionally more erratic about them working together, and just starts storming out of the room.
Yeah.
And then David, then you get like you hear the sound of like the heart beating, so you get a sense of like,
his heart problem. Yeah.
And when pressure or stress, his heart starts going.
I will say I like the shot as she goes, "Well, who's running this now? You or him?" And then she walks out. His heart starts sounding, and then there's a shot of Coco, like
in the corner.
at how he looks, like he's hanging up. They hang him up already, but he's already looking like damn, bro, you let this bitch cuck you like this.
Yeah, David was the real OG.
Yeah,
trying to talk some sense into him.
Yeah, he's just like, and then he holds his chest. He goes, "Are you okay?" And this is where here's where we discover that she goes to her acting classes on a certain day. And
I think she mentioned a day. It's Joseph thought that he would go on Wednesdays, and then David mentioned that through the friend they talked about set them up to work together, is that they stopped doing that, and I think it's on Tuesdays now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts getting like suspicious about what she's been doing on Wednesdays when she says she's going out for that acting class.
we'll find out right here. Let's revisit this line in this episode.
David offers to spy on her.
I think there's someone in their acting class.
She's having an affair.
No, I'm being ridiculous. Let's get back to work.
Look, if you want, I can swing by your acting class on Wednesday night and I can check it out for you. It'll be no problem.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night?
Well, I guess that makes up days.
Acting classes on Tuesday night.
No. It used to be Tuesday night, but they changed it like a year ago. That's why I had to drop out.
Whole year. Spent effing and sucking. Damn.
Poor Joseph.
Whole year.
Really?
She's been cheating on me with Rick.
It's okay.
And look at this. You see, I also like it too because the way they focus this episode on Coco and Coco talking to Joseph, through even if it's psychological,
Coco knew.
right? Man, you never see his mouth move, right? So you think it's psychological, like he has a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
But it
They
also
also
leads you
think,
to
yeah.
think that he's gonna come to life. You know, like
You're
he's
right.
gonna come to life at the end of the episode, and he's gonna get the revenge, which would have been fantastic. There is the comic is that's what happens in the comic. We don't get to see it, but that is the comic. The comic, I think they didn't do the comic version of this, which you know they keep saying, "Oh, we only took the title's name. We didn't follow." No, you did. There's so many episodes so far we've gone through. There's been like 2 episodes where they didn't follow the comic exactly so far, but pretty much every episode they followed the exact elements of almost of so far of the actual comic. I think maybe they said that for I don't know, maybe legal like licensing or legal purposes. Like, no, we just took the name. No, you didn't. You did for What's Cooking. You only took the name.
Right. But this one, yeah, they followed elements from the story.
Pretty much. This one
They tweaked it a bit, but it's not exactly, but it's similar. Very similar.
similar. It's very similar in a way. But anyway, we see that Joseph and Dan and Ellen. We see Dan and Ellen get into a fight after.
I don't think you should come back tomorrow.
What have you got against me? I don't understand why you hate me so much.
You know, I will say that I didn't ask him this question, but there was I was like, this is the first time I've ever seen him as well. We'll see. We'll get into. I don't want to spoil it, but anyway. So they get into a fight. Ellen and David get into a fight, and Joe tries to get involved in the middle of it. He goes, "Stop! Don't!" And then she goes, "Well, it's me or him." And he goes, "What are you talking about? I can't. You know, like I'm not gonna choose my wife over him." He goes, "But I need this guy. Like I need him to help me. Like I have this big reunion thing." And he goes, "You need me, and I don't want him in my house." And then he acts like the nice guy. He goes, "Don't worry, Joseph. It's okay. I'll go. Don't worry about it." You know. So that was nice and all. But then they start fighting, and then she goes, she basically tells him like, "Well, I can't have any friends." You know, like that's the whole problem, because I think she goes, "I'm leaving," and he's like, "Where the fuck are you? Like, where are you going?" You know, he goes, "No." He goes, this is what happens. He goes, David leaves, and Joseph goes, "What's the matter with you? Like, David's my friend." And she goes, "Oh, now we can have friends?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I never told you couldn't have friends." And he goes, "Oh, that's news to me. It's been 8 years, and I have to deal with this crap. Staying in the house, being monitored, being like Beth Stern, being told where and when I can't go anywhere. And I'm sick of you controlling me like I'm one of your damn puppets." That's what she says. And then he goes, "Where are you going?" And she goes, "To see a friend." And then he's like, dum, 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 dum. Oh, he's gonna cry in the corner. Anyway, we get a different shot, and we see that I think Coco's like, "Let's check it out." You know, like, let's check out and see what she's doing. And then he starts going through the drawers, and he finds all these love notes. And it's driving
in her dresser. Yeah.
He's just like, I think Kevin Yagher did a really good job directing this episode, to be quite honest.
Yeah, some pretty cool shots and some
Yeah.
intended shots, like you were mentioning about the puppet looking at him
Yeah.
and give you the sense whether or not it's in his head or it's going to come to life.
By the way, Kevin Yagher married Chucky's mom. Oh, not Chucky's mom, Andy's mom from Child's Play 2.
Catherine
Hicks is her
O'Hara?
name?
Oh, no,
No,
Catherine
Catherine
Hicks.
Hicks.
From Seventh Heaven, right?
Yes, from Seventh Heaven. The mom from Seventh Heaven. So I was like, wow, good job, man.
She could get it back
Like,
then.
good
yeah.
for you, Kevin Yeager. Because I always thought, no offense, you know, I was a kid, but I was like, wow, she's kind of cute. She was like the first like
Yeah.
blonde woman I was ever like, oh, that's nice. Anyway, in the dark, Joseph's having a conversation with Coco. He's like, I'll divorce her. He's like, well, she'll take half. Or something,
yeah.
something like that. Like, I think it was kind of cool, honestly. This episode kind of changed my opinion a little bit. Like,
You make out
originally-
what the letter said there? I was trying to get a glimpse of it. I think it said something like, it's like, hi Ellen, last night was amazing, and then I couldn't make out the rest.
Yeah, well,
But
it's
yeah.
her response. She wrote,
This is a giant cock.
XO.
Rick, I just want you to know.
This is a giant cock.
Or it would have been easier if he found like videos, right? He's like going through, he
Ooh, that'd
finds
been
all these
worse.
VHS tapes, then you work back to VHS that he was watching
whole
earlier.
movies,
And
yeah.
then he goes and he puts it in, and it's like her and him having sex, Rick, and then in his own house. He's like, well, where was I? Like, where was I?
Wasn't I invited?
No, not even that. Like, where was I when this was happening? Oh, you were with fucking Coco downstairs in your marionette room or in your room watching VHSs of your past life, letting your present just pass you by. No, I'm just kidding,
But yeah, given all this revelation, he starts drinking vodka and talking to
Passes.
Coco here.
and he passes out, and then when he wakes up, Coco's gone, and
The
he's like,
string,
no,
the strings got left behind on the table.
yeah.
That was a cool touch.
And then he wakes up, he runs into the bedroom, and there's Coco stabbing the crap out of his wife. And he's like, oh, and he's
That's a
holding
cool
his
shot.
chest. Oh no! Oh yeah, and he's holding his chest, and he collapses, and he basically died. He died. He's dead. He's done.
Had a heart
Or
attack.
dying.
Yeah.
And then that's when we see, because we heard earlier that David was into animatronics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
There's a clue there. Yeah.
yeah, so then all of a sudden the door opens and David walks out with the remote control, and then he's looking at Joseph, checks him, he goes, he's gone, and you're like, this is the twist that he was in on it the entire time.
David was Rick.
David was Rick, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
David is Einhorn.
Yeah.
Sorry, old man.
All right, honey, you can stop acting like this little knife killed you.
Right. And then she's all covered in blood. Fake blood.
Is he dead yet?
The old man's croaked.
Is he dead yet?
Almost. This is horrible.
Joseph? This is Rick.
He started doing it in front of him. That would have been an extra topping on the cake there.
Yeah. Now it's time for you to watch.
So what do you think, Joe? I know it's not as graceful as what you do, but I think with a little money.
Your money. I think you'll end up pretty damn good.
So horrible though, actually. When you think about this, it's kind of evil. It's real evil.
Yeah, another classic example, from previous episodes. The wife killing the husband for money. Like what was it? The one we didn't like as much. That one with Michael Ironside in that one. That's kind of similar, like
sacrifice.
that. The sacrifice.
But it was
and
there was the
then-
husband that died in that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't good at all.
The classic
another thing-
element of Tales from the Crypt, just either murder, sex, and then killing their spouse for money.
Mhm. The only good thing about that episode was the fact that Kim Delaney. I think that's her name. Was in it. That's about it. Anyway, he tells her to get herself cleaned up, and then it's time to call 911. And then obviously he can't find the puppet. It's missing. And then he starts looking. He looks under the bed, doesn't see it, and then we see Coco's on top of the bed or somewhere. And then he gets up, and I guess he just
Coco slashes Rick's throat with a knife.
And then she comes out of the shower and she goes, honey, and then you see these wires on Rick or David. And she looks, she's like, what the hell? You can see the shadow. I think that was a great shot, actually.
It's really cool.
Focus back on her, and her shadow, you could see the puppet strings or marionette strings, whatever, on her face. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, she looks and she sees that his neck is split and his head moves up, and she doesn't scream, actually. She should, but she hears, hey, kiddo. It sounds like, that the hand comes up and he stabs her. Rick stabs her. Then the cops show up, which is stupid. I thought reveal should have happened right then and there, instead of having the cops come in and open it, and then we see the bodies and them hanging. But anyway, so flash forward after he kills them to the cops walking in, opening the door and seeing them standing on the bed with like strings hanging down. And then on the very top, we see Coco, but he's not Coco anymore. Now he has the face of Joseph.
That part was a bit strange, but it's cool in a way, like the irony of the whole thing, and then just how they tied it, the whole idea of him being into the marionette puppets and to their deaths. I thought it was pretty interesting. That's a cool puppet they made of him. Yeah,
I think it's interesting that, well, it could be what he was making. Remember, because he was working
himself,
on
I guess.
Yeah, he was working on it himself.
That could be it. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get a clear cut.
Yeah, there's a lot of interpretations you can come up with.
But like the seeds were there, though. It's something. A lot of things were planted there. And when you watch it again, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes more sense now. Yeah, this could have happened.
Yeah, not a bad episode. But before we go into the Crypt Keeper stuff, let's see what an actor that was in this episode thinks about this episode with questions I asked them, and see how they responded to those questions.
Hey there, it's Zach Galligan. Obviously, it's for the Creeps of the Crypt podcast. And here's me answering your questions. First question is, what was it like working with Kevin Yagher? So working with Kevin was, let me just say this first. I shot this episode something like 33 years ago. So that's a long time ago. And we only shot for about 5 days. So I don't really remember anything specific, about Kevin, other than he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he wanted. Everything was kind of storyboarded and ready to go. I don't remember any issues with shooting. I just remember it being really smooth and seamless. So since I don't remember anything sort of negative about it, I'm just going to assume that Kevin did, a very typical, extremely competent job with the direction, and I got along with him. And his wife, who visited the set too, the actress Catherine Hicks, who was very nice. Do I have any memorable or funny stories from the shoot, either on set or behind the scenes? Anything you wish you could have done differently? How do you feel about the episode looking back? So I'm going to combine 3 and 4, and then I'll answer 2. Tales from the Crypt is really one of the few things I've done where I'm completely happy with almost every element of the project. I was very happy with the way I looked. Obviously that's very important to you as an actor. I was happy with my performance. I was happy with the script. I loved working with Patty Charbonneau, and Donald O'Connor was an absolute legend. It's one of my favorite things that I've done. I'm very, very proud of it. So I really wouldn't change anything about the episode. I think, as far as behind the scenes stories and stuff like that, I think one of the things that I'm kind of the happiest about is that there's that great shot selection that Kevin does where Donald O'Connor is dying, and we sort of see his POV of me and Patricia looking down at him just as he's dying. And we kind of kiss as he's dying, to sort of rub salt in the wound. And I remember discussing with Patricia going, hey, I don't know if you feel about this, but what if we give him like a really juicy kind of passionate kiss that the last thing that he sees to be extra evil, you know, is he gets an idea of like how amazing our, shall we say, physical connection between our two characters is. So I said, maybe we should have some really sort of steamy kiss, just to really put a stake in his heart just as he expires. It'll be like just, you know, really nasty. And she was all for it. So that kiss that I give Patricia Charbonneau is probably the best on-screen kiss I ever did. And it works because you go, oh my God, that's the last thing he sees. That is really, really unpleasant and vicious on our parts. So that way, when we get our comeuppance at the end, you feel like, wow, these guys were not good guys. And I kind of wanted also to go against my sort of what people called my inherent likability, you know, from playing Billy Peltzer. It's like, oh, he's the nice guy. It's like, no, this character's not a nice guy. He's not a nice guy at all. He's a snake. And I wanted people to feel that. And I had to sort of fight against my, you know, Billy Peltzer wholesomeness. So there you go. Love my Tales from the Crypt episode. Wouldn't change really a thing about it. Had a fantastic time working with the legend Donald O'Connor, although he was fairly ill and near the end of his life when we shot it. It was still a fantastic experience. Patty was great. Kevin was great. Everything was great. And I hope this answers your questions, okay? Take care.
So that's that. You're muted, I think.
Oh, yeah. I just take a sip of water. I didn't want to get caught there.
So
yeah,
that was
R.I.P. Donald O'Connor.
Yeah. That was Zach Galligan talking about the episode Tales from the Crypt, giving us. I will say too, that's the first time I've ever seen him. But the episode is both ways. He goes as the nice guy, as he always is, for the majority of the episode, and then he turns into this. And he's right, the slimiest character you never would have thought. I think that's why people like this episode a lot too, because he's not. This is not him. I mean, the closest thing is Waxwork. But he's not, he's just like a prick kind of, but he's not a bad guy. I think I haven't seen that in years. It's just going off my memory, as I did record shots from the movie to, you know, use, but I didn't watch the movie. I just took the shots that he looked good in to put it in that little package of, you know, things that Zach Galligan was in prior that I know him from. Also, he was in an episode of Star Trek, but nonetheless, yeah, I never seen him like this. So it was kind of like, and like we said, rewatching is messed up. Like they're on top of him, and they're like, yeah, you know, the only thing they could have done worse is have sex on top of his body. You know, and if it was a Quentin Tarantino film, that's exactly what would have happened. They would have had sex right on top of his body. That's the credits body rolling even more.
That would have been cool, right? Had that happening, and then him, you see the shot of him dead, and then you see the reflection in his eye, and then the credits roll. But yeah,
this was evil.
Pretty
honestly,
well done.
I will say this scene was evil. This shot was perfect. It was perfectly done, because also what she's saying is terrible. Like, you
good
know,
suggestion for that kiss. At that kiss. The lip bite. To illustrate.
But I like that she goes, but with a little bit of money, and she goes, your money. I was like, so evil.
Cold-blooded.
So evil. Yeah, cold-blooded. Anyway, how did the Crypt Keeper end this episode?
Yeah, so this is our ending episode monologue and the closing monologue. His head is struck in a guillotine, so well, Kota may have been the puppet, but in the end, Joseph was the one who paid for the marionette. As for me, kiddies, it seems my pain in the neck was more serious than I thought, but I almost finished my scarapy. One more adjustment, and I'll be out of here. And he looks to Dr. Bones, Bones. All right, anytime you're ready, Bones. And then Bones raises the blade of the guillotine and drops on the Crypt Keeper's head, and then lands in the basket as he cackles. And now that's what I call pain in full And
Yeah,
do the
we gotta-
laugh, but I'll work on that one.
We got to do an episode dedicated to the best Crypt Keeper monologues and outros. That's what
Yeah,
we
there are
gotta do.
definitely a lot of pretty solid ones, I think, in season 2, and
Well, we skipped a bunch, but
there are ones that we missed a cover, but
I will say this too, though. I always wondered before I spoke to some people. I was because I always see on IMDb it says 2 different writers for every episode. Stephen Dodd most of the time. Stephen Dodd, and then somebody else. But then the episode just says who the writer is of the episode. So I figured out. I go, well, the episode's written like the episode. Technically, I could buy a script. I could check. I'm going to buy a script. I'm going to see because I think the scripts are written. But once you get production, once the script's actually like. So I feel like the writer writes the episode and it's just based on the comic and that's the episode. They just that's it, 30 pages or 20 pages, right? That's it, 25 pages. And that's the episode. And then the other writer writes the intro and the outro for the Crypt Keeper and puts that in the front and the end as the closer. And altogether, so if I was gonna buy a script now of Tales from the Crypt from production shooting script, I'm pretty positive that I will get back a script with the intro and the outro of the Crypt Keeper. But I don't think that's how it was written. But then again, I could ask A.L. Katz if we ever get him on. I'll ask him how was it written because I think that's how it was written. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it's really the writer's fault most of the time. So sometimes I'll say I hate this episode or whatever the case may be. It could be production, the producers getting involved and things too. So
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of supervision or adjustments to like how they want certain things to be presented. At least when, like you told me this about the script part. How it's not always like they'll get credit for it, but like I guess if you look up the script right, it could be completely different than what they did in the episode, right?
Not only that, sometimes when you work in a writer's room, somebody will get credit and they didn't even really work on the episode that much. They worked on another episode.
They just showed up on set one day.
Yeah.
For like
That's
5
what
minutes.
the guys from Always Sunny said. No, we write it together and then we just fight on who gets their name on the script at the end, like as a writing credit. And that was funny because they asked Christopher Imperioli when he wrote the episode Christopher of The Sopranos, one of the best episodes of The Sopranos, about Christopher Columbus, right? And that whole thing. So he wrote that episode. So they asked him, and he's like, well, I didn't really write it. Like there were other writers. Like I wrote some stuff, and I was the one. Like so he
suggested some things.
No. Like he wrote it, right? But like other writers wrote dialogue, other writers wrote scenes, right? And then they give him to him, and then he has to format it all. So like, you know, he's like a script editor / writer, like because they asked him who wrote that line. That was a good line. He goes, I don't remember, but it wasn't him, obviously, because if it was him, he'd say me, like, but it wasn't him. But anyway, yeah, that's
a nice insight. That's a nice insight in there. Like a lot of people don't think about it too much like that, but it's crazy to hear all these stories about how different or different ways they come up with these ideas and who gets credit for what, and how much participation they had in the whole process. But you just think clear cut, like, yeah, that guy wrote it. Like if we ever talk about somebody, we mention Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, like who wrote that? It could be completely different thing with the history of how it was written and what you see on the movie. Because sometimes they end up being different, but they just change things around based on a lot of factors. It seems like.
Yep.
But yeah, if you ever get that script, let me know. I'd be curious to see how.
I'm gonna look it up now.
How different it might be from this episode.
Well, I don't want this episode.
Oh, not this one. Maybe split personality. But yeah, with that being said,
blood. I could get Demon Knight.
Yeah.
Let Demon the Knight. Punishment fit. Only sin deep. See, now I don't know if this website is actually the actual script or if somebody just rewrites the script and sells it to you.
It's hard to
I
say.
get every episode on here. It's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, send me that link later.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the episode. This is episode 4. Anyway, this is season 4, episode 12 of Strung Along. What would you rate it before we get out of here?
Yeah, I wanted to. I actually, yeah, I didn't mind it. I liked it for what it was. Not the best, not the worst. I think it's solid. I would give it a 3 out of 5. I think it was pretty solid episode.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
rewatch
also
this again.
gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. I think Kevin Yagher did a really good job in this one.
I think he
I
did a
think,
lot with the material for sure.
Yeah, I think the best thing is that what Zach Galligan said, that shot of them two together. It's so evil, of them looking down on him and telling him their whole plan is so evil. Even though like it could have been better, the killing of them kind of weak, but like
Yeah, we never saw it besides just that one quick
Yeah.
scene of
The
him
slit,
getting
yeah.
slashed, and
But-
we never saw what they did with the wife.
yeah, but that was a great scene. Anyway, yeah, I give it 3 out of 5. Also, I did enjoy this episode, and yeah.
Did you want to
like,
did you want to go over the comic, or do you want to?
Oh yeah,
pass-
my God, I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
About
because
to
I
end
know
the
you're gonna
show,
tell
like,
me,
goodbye.
we forgot this, and say, might
Yeah.
as well bring it up if you wanted to go
I
through
got
it
it.
real quick. Honestly,
So-
it's not all that different besides a few minor things, like but this one does well with what you mentioned about what they could have done in this episode, was to get a little bit of backstory, or at least
Yeah.
an idea, like what he thought of his
Well,
wife.
this is what
when
I'll
they
say.
met.
It's pretty much exactly the episode, almost in a sense. Kind of. They go more to a backstory, like you said, the backstory. He talks about Coco being the first one, then he created more, and he was big and he was huge and he was making a lot of money. Then he met his girl, and then she was by his side. She met presidents and dictators and all these things, and they all praised him. And then he got sick. And this is the ridiculous part where they're like, "You can't do it anymore. You could die." Really? You can't marry Annette? You're gonna die from marrying? I don't. Well, maybe. I don't know. Seems ridiculous. But so she just
Right.
got terrible and evil and bitter and angry, and then she just tells him one night, like, "I married you for money," because they said like he could die from getting aggravated. So she's like, "Really?" So then he just tells her off. I mean, she tells him off. Like, "I married you because of money. I never loved you. Don't kid yourself, Tony. I never loved you. I love the things you could give me." And he's like, "What? Nora, what are you saying? You heard me. I married you for your money. That's all. Your money. You could give me pretty things, and I wanted pretty things. So I put on an act. Actually, I despised you. I loathed you, your touch, your caress, your kiss. But while you could give me what I liked, I tolerated you." And they show a cool little shot, which it seems like they get something right that Tales from the Crypt doesn't, which is what I've seen this kind of panel shot here where it shows the face and the background is from Creepshow. Remember at Creepshow, every time in the first one at least, where they focus on the character, the plot turn or whatever, like Father's Day, where the zombie comes in with the cake, right? It's Father's Day, and then they show the sister and the brother. They walk in on it, and they see the head of their mother on the cake, and then they go, "Whoa!" And you see the background's like a bright red, or like Ted Danson's character, like when not Ted Danson, who's the Leslie Nielsen,
Leslie
where he
Nielsen,
sees Ted Danson walk in, he's like, "Ah!" And you see the green thing behind him, like the light, like that's what they did good here in this panel. That shows that in the comic that they would do things like that, which elevates it a little bit. I think Creepshow, the new show, which we should talk about one day. I think they do a good job in
Yeah, I was
also-
gonna mention that if you ever saw it, or
the first season.
if it was if they
The first
actually
two
did they
seasons.
recreate the movie,
No.
or did they do new things from
New
the comics?
Not from the comics, just new stories.
Just new stories. Okay.
Yeah, which isn't terrible. Some are interesting, some are stupid, some are whack. It's all
Yeah,
the-
some of them, some are ones that are like, it was all right.
There was
Yeah,
two
but
good ones in season
Something
one.
you read on the toilet. Yeah.
There was two good ones in season one. One was with a little girl and a dollhouse. I forgot the whole story. The second one was with the kid from, what's that movie called? He was a dorky kid, DJ Qualls. That's his name. I know his
Right.
name. I don't remember the movie. The nice guy or the new
new
guy.
guy.
The new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in one episode, which is really good too. There's a few episodes that they're not bad technically. I can't say anything. But anyway,
I gotta check it out.
so she just goes off on him. When you got sick, I stuck around. I thought you might get better. Now, when I think of the time I've wasted, Nora, please don't. Don't you like the truth, Tony? Don't you? Well, now you know. I've hated you from the beginning. Nora, you're killing me. I'm a sucker. I'm a killing you? What? Am I a sucker? Am I killing you? Well, that's what I want to do. I'd like to be free of you while I'm still young. But she's not that young, sweetheart. You look pretty bad.
She look a little older.
And what did they do with your face? Why is
She
your?
look a little long on the tooth.
I think somebody messed with her face on purpose. Because it's showing like messed up makeup. I think that's whoever copied this. Yeah. Anyway, the attack came just as the doctors had predicted. Nora stood there, her face a stone mask, watching him wither. And then she walked out laughing. Nora, come back. Nora.
Yeah, there's some evil shit right here too.
Yeah. And then he looks at the marionettes and he fingers them. No, not like that. It says he touches them. And then he's like, you're all I have left. So you're all I have left now. Little ones, all I have left.
My children.
She won't be back. Nora. Nora. And after a while, he slept. The door opens and she walks in. She goes up to him. She caresses him. She kisses him. And then he dies. Next morning, like the end of the episode, the cops come and they go, look. And he's happy, sleeping because she came back and she was like, he's like, oh, I knew you didn't mean it, sweetheart. I knew you loved me. And he's kissing her or whatever. And she's like, she doesn't say anything. She just nods and things. But you find out at the end, he goes, no, but look at her. She was stabbed like multiple times. I think they fucked her. They screwed her up bad. And then you see like the marionettes are hanging above the bed. All of them. They all came to life. See, that's what I will say they didn't do in this episode. Which the comic is a little bit better. They didn't do that in this episode, I believe, because of Puppet Master. Because you already had a movie series where you have these puppets coming to life, and they didn't do it for this because of
I had a feeling, that might have been the reason. They didn't want it to be associated with that franchise or something, or think it was ripping it off or something.
And they didn't.
I remember it was out around that time, right?
A little before, but still, they so many of them,
But I would say like that's the part I liked because it makes it more cooler, the idea that there was just more than one, but they just wanted to focus on one puppet that did it. So, and this time, in the strip, they didn't like have his face on it like the episode did. It was just the three that he made. So I thought that was one part I liked a little bit more than the comic. I mean the show, but the comic in the episode were pretty solid in their own respects.
Yeah, I think it would have been cooler if if there was more than one Coco. If it was like, there's another, I got this stupid doll's name, but but Coco's the one they focused on. And then they did switch it where it's like Coco became him, which is okay. I don't mind it. I think it was pretty good. But I think
the other cool part I liked about it, I don't think we touched it upon it, but there's that little scene after when she came back home and you couldn't see her face, but it was in the dark. I like how they did the darkness or the nighttime here, and then you never actually see the face or the strings, but the puppets were controlling her to give him one last kiss before he died. So nice puppets.
Oh,
and that was a little. It was a little
in the
fucked up,
comic.
but in the comic that part was cool. That I
did mention it.
Okay, cool.
So they came back in. Yeah, you do kind of see the strings in one of the panels. You could see them, but they did it so like all the
one of them. Yeah, one of them you didn't see them, but it's like the shot of them kissing. So that part was that was nice, but even though it was a little horrific once you know.
But I will say they didn't they didn't use this idea, which would have been better a little bit, I guess, but it works. This works fine. This works fine because it's like Joseph went into Coco. Joseph and Coco were one, so like that's how it ends. Like, yes, they're one now. They they were both together. Is he bothering you? No, they're together. They were one person always. So it works out. It kind of
that part was cool too.
Yeah. But anyway, as I was going to end the show earlier without going over the comic, thanks to Alan reminding us. Yeah, that's this episode of Creeps of the Crypt. Remind you guys to check out our merch at ghostcrusadersmerch.com. If you want to buy something, leave a comment, go to YouTube or Rumble, search for Creeps of the Crypt, and you can watch our videos and comment down below in the comment section. Let us know what you thought about these episodes. Remember, we're just regular fans of the show. We're not experts in anything whatsoever. I might talk like I know everything, but I don't know jack. So comment down below. You might like an episode that we dislike, that critique of the podcast. I know we're giving a lot of shout outs, but like they were reviewing some episodes and I'm like, what? You like that episode? You like that one? Like, I can't believe you. But
there was that, and then I was surprised that Kenny didn't like the episode as much as we did for the Michael J. Fox directed one.
No, he liked it. I think
early on he was like a little bit down on it, but I think it picked up when they talked about it more. But my bold prediction, I would say Kenny would get this maybe a 3.5 because there's some blood and murder here. So
maybe that's why he likes gore.
Give it a good. He loves a good gore. Yeah.
Godin likes things like that no one liked that one. What was the one that Godin liked that I was like, it was the one you liked too. That stupid one with the witch that she switches the bodies.
No, I didn't like that one.
Yes, you did. If you go back,
Judy.
I think you did.
Judy,
no, that's not Judy.
Oh,
that's not Judy.
Which one?
Is that? Yes, that is Judy. Yeah,
no,
Judy, you're not yourself.
That one I didn't like that much.
I think you did. If you go back, you could be like, "Oh, it was funny." I was like,
no, that was you.
Sucked. But God didn't like that one. I was like, what? I forgot what episode. They did a ranking.
Are you talking about Love to Death? Because they did Love to Death, Carry On Death.
Like they didn't like that one. No, I'm talking about Judy because they got like that one.
I have to rewatch it. Anybody that wants to rewatch that one, let me know. I have a feeling. I was like, I didn't like that one. I think I listed it as one of my worst episodes that season.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Or at least in my own self.
Oh, well, see, we're not trying to crap on Godin. I'm not
my own self tier list. No, that was
I'm
you.
not crapping on you, Godin. You can like what you like, but I was like shocked. I was like, what? Like this? But then there was like other episodes he liked that Kenny didn't like. Like I forgot which other one that Kenny didn't like. And I was just appalled. I was flabbergasted. I was like,
flabbergasted.
You're hurting my feelings, sir. I was like, you're torturing me here. Anyway, yeah. Check out Critique of the Podcast. Check out Critique of the Crypt. Check out GhostCrusadersMerch.com. Check out the subreddit, Tales from the Crypt fan subreddit. And check out Alan over at Splinter47 on X. And you can follow us on X also at Ghost Crusader TV. Anyway, that's that. We will talk to you guys next time.
Peace.